I mean, people aren't really using Bitcoin to buy everyday items, and that's partly to do with the fact that not a lot of retailers give them the option to spend it. You do have Microsoft, Overstock, your occasional restaurant that will let you use your crypto wallet directly on their website or in person, but these are really the exception to the rule.
Our next guest is betting on new innovations in the sector to help it hit its next big milestone, which includes moving money around faster and easier and paying bills a lot more cheaply. Now to the story that has been burning up CNBC.com all week. It's about a family, the Bitcoin family, the Bitcoin bunch, whatever you want to call them. In 2017, they sold everything and put it all into Bitcoin when it was under $1,000. CNBC.com tech reporter Mackenzie Sigalos is here with more. She's got an update on the family and how they've been doing since traveling the globe, Mackenzie. Listen, I actually want to start on one of the core points of confusion around Bitcoin and AMC's announcement this week. You know, in the US, this is still treated as property. It doesn't really make sense to pay for anything with Bitcoin, even if companies let you. You have to pay tax on it, right? So to me, do you see a realistic vision in the near term where the US is going to change the way it treats cryptocurrency? Because otherwise, even with the Lightning Network, what's the point? How much are people realistically going to be transacting?
Hey, Kelly. Yes, they have been. I first met Didi Taihutu, his wife, and 3 daughters 4 years ago when they had just sold their house, their business, their shoes, in order to make this massive bet on Bitcoin. And remember, back then, the cryptocurrency didn't have the same level of mainstream adoption and institutional backing that it does now. And even when the crypto winter hit in 2018, wiping out a good portion of their life savings, they doubled down, buying even more Bitcoin and diversifying into other cryptocurrencies. Now, we don't know exactly how much they've put in, but at least a couple $100,000 at the start, and it's appreciated more than 5,000% since then. So it's certainly enough to travel the world, and that is definitely what they've been doing for the past 4 years. They've lived in or visited 40 different countries since I first met them.
You know what, Kelly, I agree. I think there needs to be a conceptual division between Bitcoin, the asset, this is this hard money, fixed supply, commodity-like asset, and Bitcoin, the network. There is a monetary network that allows Bitcoin to do things like payment standards, receiving standards, a clearing cash finality, and physical bearer instrument clearance. And that is innovative on its own right. And we can actually use that as an infrastructure piece similar to the Visa monetary network or the PayPal monetary network, but instead use the Bitcoin monetary network under the hood to do everything cheaper, better, faster. And so at Strike, we allow you to use this infrastructure rail with your Chase checking account or your Visa debit card without making you use and spend Bitcoin, the asset or the property as treated by the United States. So I think that division and that mental model is going to be really helpful. And we're going to see a lot of disruption with Bitcoin, the monetary network.
What you tend to see more often are companies that sort of let you pay in Bitcoin. Home Depot, for example, says that customers can use a third-party platform called Flexa in order to spend their Bitcoin on a Home Depot gift card, which they then use at the store itself. Starbucks and Ulta do something similar.
I guess my questions are sort of how are they monetizing this? There's a lot of yield plays you can do with Bitcoin, but people don't always trust all of these different platforms, and they have, I presume they don't want to sell it, all of it, but they can kind of sell as they go. And then the security issue. So for the Bitcoin that they do have, you know, the storage, the access, again, going back to this platform and the trustworthiness issue, it must be a lot to deal with. And I want to stay on the regulatory theme for just another moment because we've seen obviously some big moves in Congress this week. Do you have concerns about what's in the infrastructure bill?
No, I have a lot of thoughts, but my high level thoughts are human beings are tool builders. Innovation is inherent in us as a species, and it's what separates us from other primates. And any country positioning against innovation is not good, is against the best interest of humanity, and that's against the very principles America was built on. And so I think Bitcoin transcends race, gender, culture, countries, borders, and it really allows us to unite. I think the efforts that is combined by all different types of parties and walks of life to get this right is inspiring, and we will get this right, not because we want to, but because we have to.
Yeah.
And some argue that maybe there's even more of an opportunity now because of the way China has cracked down on Bitcoin mining, that sort of intellectual capital is looking for somewhere to go. Tell me about the Strike app and what differentiates it from a lot of the other payment and wallet apps. I know you guys have had some news lately about maybe helping people get Bitcoin off the app more easily. I know you're trying to do lower fees even for purchasing or transacting in Bitcoin than rivals like Coinbase. Where is this going, and what's the use case for people who may not have experienced it yet?
Now, on your first point, they're big believers in spending the Bitcoin and just, making sure that they're a part of this Bitcoin economy and really using it for that cryptocurrency use case. So for them, it's not as much of a profit play. And in terms of the storage side of it, the family is a big believer in cutting out any sort of middleman. So what they've done is they've taken 74% of their crypto portfolio, specifically their Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, and they've put it into cold storage. And what that means is that they've put their crypto on these thumb drive sized hardware wallets that aren't connected to the internet. And they've hidden them on 4 different continents in 6 different places as a way to safeguard their virtual coins from hackers.
Or I could swipe my debit card in 2 seconds.
Yeah, so at Strike, we think that the Bitcoin network is the world's best monetary network, and it's not even close. The Bitcoin network is one of the more powerful innovations for money as a technology in human history. And so similar to the PayPal network or the Visa network or the Square monetary network, we operate on top of the Bitcoin monetary network. We are a native neobank like a Chime, like a Venmo, like a Cash App, but under the hood, we use Bitcoin. It allows us to do everything cheaper, faster, more global, and better. And so you're talking about a network that can achieve bearer instrument cash finality anywhere in the world, 24/7, 365. It is the most inclusive monetary network of all time. And so that's where our innovation lies. And so with us rolling out products like being the cheapest place in America to buy Bitcoin, we are taking a direct shot at those that are wasting resources on supporting other altcoins dubbed shitcoins, because we think the true innovation is a global, unified, singular, open source payment standard for the world. And that's where we spend our time and resources.
Here's the thing, too. I know it's kind of cool, and if you've made a fortune in Bitcoin, good for you. That's great. Maybe you want to go buy something. But there may be, and I learned this from you, by the way, Mac, some hidden tax implications. Capital gains can come get you, can it not?
Yes, it can. So in addition to all of these logistical acrobatics that go into figuring out how to actually spend your Bitcoin, you're also potentially facing capital gains taxes on top of the sales tax. And that's because the IRS considers virtual currencies such as Bitcoin to be property.
Wow. So bottom line, does it make any sense to spend right now cryptos on random stuff?
No, not really.